Hello, everyone. This is Morris Jackson with Religion, Economics, and Politics. We have another great show lined up for you today. Stick around, and we'll be right back after this short message.
Now is the perfect time to visit GenCoreyNutrition.com and take the first step towards a healthier you.
So once I've gotten a digital wallet for myself, how much money should I start out with? And I know that's probably subjective depending on how much money you have to spend, but how much should I start with? What coins should I buy? You know, that can be, kind of overwhelming, I think, for the novice who's just getting started. What's your recommendation?
Okay, yeah. So let's like I stated before, from discussing something, probably we'll have 10 topics in a lot of time because of how the dynamics of the conversation. I mentioned that there are two ways around, this whole crypto thing, this whole blockchain thing. The first is when you use your money to make more money. You buy an asset when it's at a low value, and then there's a coin I bought one time. Each single unit was trading at $1. And later on, it grew for one single unit to $10. So the money I invested like as low as $100, and it grew to $1,000. That's 10x, right? Wow. So that's one way. Now the other way is to offer your services or to offer your skills to make money, to earn those cryptocurrencies. You don't necessarily need to buy an asset when it's $1 and it grows to $5 or $10. You can actually make those cryptocurrencies, earn those cryptocurrencies by offering your skills. Godsend, for example, he has earlier worked for a company as a writer. He has also worked as graphics person, and they paid him in cryptocurrency. They paid him either Bitcoin or USDT or Ethereum. All of these are cryptocurrencies. So for someone who wants to make some money in crypto, does the person want to offer a skill? Because let's say skills can be graphics, web design, project management, because these crypto companies, for example, Binance is a crypto project, one of the largest, the world biggest crypto exchange. Binance has a blog. Someone manages this blog. Binance has a Twitter account. Binance has a YouTube account. It's someone that manages this social media account for Binance. Right. And these people earn BNB as their salary. One BNB is currently around $400 or $300 and something dollars for one BNB. So imagine you're earning a good amount of those BNBs per month for offering those skills to Binance. Binance also has, t-shirts. So people who print those t-shirts for Binance, they're also making money. So you don't necessarily need to buy an asset and wait for it to appreciate. You can also offer your skill if you don't have the luxury of funds to buy. But if strictly you want to make money by just investing,
that's very smart.
Then you have to actually be very smart, and you have to look at your risk appetite. You have to first learn about what you're investing in. You have to know what the risk associated are. Because if you know the associated risk, that okay, this thing can go from $1 per unit to 0.01. I've also bought a coin with like $100 and it went to $5. So imagine I had bought with $100,000, it would have gone to probably like $50 or $500. You see that just as much as you can make a whole lot of money from it, there are bad players that can create a coin and scam you in the process. They'll tell you, come and buy this asset. When you buy it, then the price, they would sell off huge amount of it and then they run away. So the point here is you have to learn. Just as it's very profitable and lucrative, it also has its of risk too. But the place of learning helps you reduce your exposure to the bad side of it. So learning is important.
So that makes a lot of sense. I think your method of getting into cryptocurrency by offering a skill and being paid in cryptocurrency, I think that's very smart. You're not necessarily using your own currency or your own hard-earned money to do it. You are investing some time. So I want to be clear. So nothing comes without a level of sacrifice or investment, whether it be your time or whether it be some of your own currency. But I think that's a very smart way to go about doing it. And I want to ask here, as we come to close here, the future or the global market, where do you see the global market going and how cryptocurrency will play a part of that? Where do you see cryptocurrency going and its impact on the global economy?
Okay, that's a very, very important question. Also, considering the topic which we are talking about, blockchain technology and its impact in the global economy. Currently, the crypto market is about $2.3 trillion in market capitalization, and is expected to, I think all-time high is probably around $3.1 trillion. That's a lot of money. And it's expected to keep growing because adoption is on the rise. People are noticing that this technology is the future. It's providing, it's enhancing digital trust. It's revolutionizing businesses, not just businesses or the way of business is done. It also has not just even monetary significance or impact. Anything that has to do with not just money, but even data. Some schools are right now even storing their data on the blockchain. Education, you talk about some companies also record their manufacturing process down to the buyer, from manufacturing to the processing to the transportation, down to the final end, to the consumers, are also being stored on the blockchain. So we can use blockchain to store these records, to store data, because it's immutable, it is incorruptible, right? And because of all of these, the advantages are numerous. You can send money from, even global remittances. You can send money from Nigeria to somebody in India. You can, or vice versa. Some of my services are even patronized, but not just people here in Nigeria offering me Naira, but people offering me cryptocurrencies globally. It is borderless. It is fast. It is cheaper, lower transaction costs, because lower operational costs, because the middleman is eliminated, and a lot of advantages, right? Even right now, after the Bitcoin era, we have the Ethereum era, where Vitalik Buterin created what is called the smart contract. So with smart contracts, people can build on the blockchain. So with all of these things, there are blockchain ecosystems and protocols that are offering funding opportunities to young minds who can keep solving problems. You look at the SDG, the Sustainable Development Goals, you see like the no poverty, you see like quality education, you see things like providing good water and all that. All of these are also can be powered by the blockchain, because not just that there's funding, there's also research grants, there's also grants for people who want to build and solve problems. There are a lot of blockchain applications right now that are also solving problems, enhancing human life. Like I already also mentioned, which is the skill part, where you offer your skill as a service, offer to also earn some cryptocurrencies. That's not possible in the traditional world, because in traditional system, you need to probably go to school, get a degree. You need to have gotten to a particular age, or you need to have probably a particular gender. But this, someone who is 10 years old, regardless of the status, regardless of the age, regardless of gender, regardless of the certifications, regardless of whatever, you can actually earn this cryptocurrency. So there's no bias. So all of these are like advantages. So once you aggregate all of these opportunities and the advantages that this technology provide, you are seeing that when the government now realize that they can't fight this technology, eventually begin to embrace it. So when you try to fight it, and you're seeing that it's not working, then you'll be forced to embrace it, because when people now begin to embrace it and adopt it, the early adopters will now become people who have more advantage. Because look at some governments, that time Bitcoin was like $1, $2, $3. They were buying. Others were fighting it. Others were buying. Those that have bought right now they are making ridiculous. FBI is like one of the top 3 or top 5 holders of Bitcoin. They are holding billions of dollars worth of Bitcoin.
Yeah.
So you see, some people are fighting it, some are adopting it. So late adopters will now begin to, when they start seeing the advantages that these things provide, they'll be forced to adopt it too. So the future I see for this technology, because of all of these advantages that I've earlier mentioned, and even more that I cannot cover because of the space of because of the time allocated to
yeah,
this.
Well, I definitely would love to have you come back and we continue this conversation. You know, I really appreciate your time today and educating us on Bitcoin. It definitely seems like not just Bitcoin, but digital currency. This is definitely the wave of the future. You know, you're starting to see more and more even entertainers who are asking to be paid in Bitcoin. You know, instead of being paid in millions of dollars, they're saying, "Hey, just pay me in Bitcoin. Pay me that amount in Bitcoin." You know, that's, you know, just kind of keeping with the concept that you were talking about. You know, instead of them going and spending their own money to buy Bitcoin, they're using that method you just mentioned of, hey, I'm providing my service, but instead of paying me in dollars or pounds or whatever, pay me in Bitcoin. You know, I have watched so many things change, you know, and I think this is the next wave of e-commerce. If you look at online sales and retail, when I was a kid, everyone went to the mall. We went to the mall, everyone hung out, everyone went shopping, and that was the way it was done. Malls have shut down. I can't tell you how many malls have just closed down. They're either they've been repurposed or they're pretty much ghost towns, and those buildings are. I mean, it's kind of scary to even approach some of these buildings now because they're just dilapidated. But a lot of stores, as a matter of fact, another store here in the U.S., I think it's Rue 21, is filing for bankruptcy. It used to be one of the anchor stores in these huge shopping malls, you know, all across the U.S., filing for bankruptcy. And they have been struggling to stay open for a while, and it's because of online shopping. So things are changing. I wanted to kind of sound the alarm to everyone, you know, to get involved. If you have not gotten involved in Bitcoin and digital currency, I think it's time to take another look, educate yourselves. Don't get left behind, because this is where the future is going. You know, like I said, there was a time where we were riding horses, you know, and then, you know, chariots were invented, and then from the chariots, you know, then, you know, we had the you know, stage coaches, and then from stage coaches we ended up going to you know, to automobiles, you know, steam automobiles, and then the combustible engine. And we see that the only thing consistent is change. So you know, evolution. So we shouldn't fight it. We shouldn't fight it. We need to educate ourselves. And you know, because this is religion, economics, and politics, and I usually will refer back, you know, always to biblical principles. You know, the Bible talks about the servants who were given talents, or basically money, by their master, and they were basically asked to invest the money. And so when the master returned, those that invested the money and multiplied the money, you know, they were blessed, and he was pleased with them. But the one who didn't do anything with his money was the one who was called wicked, and he was punished. So we are all blessed with resources, whether it is our talent, whether it is a skill that we have, whether it's, you know, the job that we go on and we work and we earn money. We should be doing something with our money to multiply it and to grow it. And not just for ourselves, but to leave a legacy behind for our families. So, but with that, I'm going to stop. Mr. Hillary, can you tell us how we can reach you or follow you on social media platforms?
Okay, so I'm very much active on Twitter. My username is Grace Hills 55. That's Grace, Grace, then Hills, Hills, then 55. That's my username on Twitter. You can also reach out to me on LinkedIn. Those are my two most active social media. On LinkedIn, if you search for Chinedu Hilary Azubuike, Chinedu is spelled Chinedu. Hilary is spelled Hilary, and Azubuike is spelled Azubuike. I'm very much reachable on LinkedIn. Those are my two most active social media platforms to reach out.
Well, folks, there you go. You have it. I have thoroughly enjoyed it, and I've been educated. Mr. Hilary, like I said, we're going to end this podcast, but I want you to hang over for just a second because I'd like to talk to you a little bit more offline. But to all of you who have joined this podcast today, thank you so much. And as always, be blessed and stay encouraged. This is Religion, Economics, and Politics. Take care.
Yeah, take care.